has happened in your business, looking at your data that you've collected, your sales record, and everything. So, why diagnostic is looking at why is it happening? Why are all those things happening? So, this is where you get a better view than what you have on the descriptive level. Then, a predictive is when you try to find a solution to, or try to imagine what will happen next, or what is likely to occur. So, that's predictive. Then, the last one is the um, the prescriptive, which is what's to be done. We talked about maybe you are buying a recommendation system, or when an issue happens, how should the system react to it? So that's the type of analytics. So moving on to the next one. So overall, let's take what is business intelligence. It's just a practice or it's a process of turning your raw data into a usable and meaningful insight or some actionable insights. When you have data that are just lying there in your database in your Excel, you're the act of turning into something that you can make decisions on, or that will give you a better understanding of your business and how you operate. So that's what we call business intelligence in a simple terms. We don't need to make it too complex. So is business intelligence same as data science? Not not really, not exactly at all. So in business intelligence, you look at what has happened. Example of question is how many brand of this product did we sell this time 2 years ago? Or which region gave us most profitable customer in the last 9 months? Those are examples um, of BI questions. So some of the skills that you require are basic statistics, data transformation, data visualization, and business knowledge. So data science will tell you what will happen or which outcome is most likely. Or can we? So the example of those questions are: can we predict which prospect or which you've been marketing, which prospects will likely sign up with the company based on records of the past prospects that we were able to convert. So can we suggest complementary products to our customer based on people that have bought maybe the same product in the past, what they eventually picked, not just from one person. You have to look at several samples of people to be able to be able to build a system that will be able to recommend this. So the vital skills you need coding skills, data mining, advanced statistics, and domain knowledge. If you notice, there's something important: business and domain knowledge. You can say they are the same in terms of understanding what the business is about, what they offer, and things like that. If you're on the left hand side there, you see an interaction between BI and data science. So data analysis is in the interaction. You move from being a BI project to being a data analyst. So that talks about the user aspect. So talking about value chain, a look at value chain here, data engineer, they are like a role in the BI value chain. Data engineer, they are responsible. So sorry, can you give me a few minutes?
Everyone, please, sorry about the break. Let's give a few minutes to join us back. But in the meantime,
Okay.
before you,
Sorry for the break in transmission. I had to do some daddy duties.
all right, welcome. Thank you.
All right. We have data engineer, data analyst, data visualization expert, and a business leader. Oh, data engineer in your organization will be typically or someone that involved with how you store your data, your business data, and the likes. And then also when you need those data, they'll be the ones to extract it for you. If you see the ETL, it just means extract, transform, and load. They'll be the ones to do that for you. Data analysts sometimes they do data models, analysis, and the likes. Data visualization experts or specialists, they are responsible for building your visuals and dashboard that they use, which the ultimate guide, which are the guides there circled in yellow. That's what they usually use in making decisions. But in real life, most times you have intersection of the roles and duties among these players here. But important here is let me put a point that is the business leader or stakeholders, the decision maker. Imagine you have your son, your husband, your boyfriend, or anything. They're asking you to prepare indomie, spiced indomie, specifically with carrots and and meat, garnished it. It doesn't want pepper. So first and foremost, what you look at is okay, you understand what the person wants. So you now go to the kitchen. Do I have all the ingredients, all the elements for me to prepare the indomie with the others rishi that has been asked for? So after you understand, if you have those ingredients, how do you mix them together? How do you put them together? At what point did you put this and that? After you must have done that, there's a point where you test. Does it have pepper enough, like as required by the business or by the person that wants to eat? So if you check if it's enough, you can now serve. So what I just described is just a typical data project that you have. In a simple process, this is what I've explained. Business understanding, this is when you understand what the person wants in terms of, okay, I want indomie garnish with so things. Data understanding has to do with, do I have all the elements that is required to solve the business problem that they have? Preparation has to do with the process by which you add all your ingredients together to bring about solving the business problem. Modeling has to do with adding them actually in the right format and the right proportion. Then that's when you describe your model. Then you build a model that will do the job of business understanding. The evaluation is when you test if it's okay. If you see an arrow going from your evaluation to your understanding, trying to test if you've met the problem that is being asked before you finally deploy for usage. So these are the process of a data analysis process, which is also known as the cross-industry standard process for data mining. It's a generally accepted standard for any data science data project. If you have this understanding, you'll be able to deal with any project whatsoever that is deal with data. So common tools that we have in analytics, you have the Excel. Almighty Excel is still very relevant now. Excel, people can build dashboard with Excel very well. Visuals are great. You have the Power Query, the Power Pivots that you can use in Excel. You have the SQL where you store your data and you can extract it when you need it. We have Power BI, Almighty Power BI. We have Tableau too, which are also the top two analytics or visualization tool in the industry right now. Then you have R and Python, which are programming languages. The good thing is these languages can be incorporated or can be used inside of these two, Power BI and Tableau. So without wasting our time, what's Power BI, which is our main business today? Power BI is just an intelligence tool created by Microsoft to solve all analytics issues as much as possible. So let's pause a bit. Creating data models and reports used to be exclusive job of business intelligence experts of an organization. But right now, not all our business have the skill in terms of the level of data, like big organizations to be able to hire someone to sit in that role particularly. Sometimes it might require just one person that has other roles to keep doing it also. Someone told me about a story of an accountant in a firm. You know, he had to learn Power BI on his own and he brought it into the work. By the time he used it in the organization, they got used to it. That was even training people within the organization, invited him abroad to even train the other regions in Africa and abroad. So that has given him more impact in the organization, or even if they are thinking of letting people go, they'll think about it twice. The guy that has brought value. And also it's helped their business also. So Power BI works with whatever data you put into it. You can't, again, I'll use food analogy. I love food a lot. You can't cut yam into your pot and cook and expect potato to come out at the end of the day. It's what you feed it in that you'll be able to come out with any variant of it. So that's what Power BI is all about. The data you give it will always give you in that state. If you don't have, for example, a particular information about age in your data, and you're expecting you to do magic abracadabra to bring out something about age in the outcome of visualization, it won't be possible. So you have to provide the data that you want it to bring out. So, what's Power BI? It's a Microsoft Business Analytics service, as I earlier explained. It provides visualization experience for end users, especially. I underline end users means you that you need it. You can use it to build a dashboard. So it's part of the overall Microsoft Power Platform, which includes Power Apps for building app for building applications, Power Automate for making certain decisions. For example, if you receive certain emails and you want it to default into certain folder and things like that, or you want to make some certain decision like approval decisions, you can use Power Automate for that. Same as Power Virtual Agent, more like a chatbot, intelligent chatbot. It's not extremely popular right now if you compare to other three low code platform. Again, let me add low code platform. You may not write any code when you are using any of this platform. They have the capability, but you may not need to write any code, or even maybe you are going to write it's just the low codes. Sometimes depending on the complexity of your business problem. So this is just Power BI. It's part of the Power Platform of Microsoft. And so why Power BI? Power BI, according to Gartner, Power BI, Microsoft is a leader in for analytics and business intelligence platforms. For us, most of us that don't know Gartner, they're involved in ranking um, technology tools. They give you the downside and the upside of it. You know, just think of in 2000 before 2017, Tableau was above Microsoft. But Microsoft already overtook Tableau as number one intelligent tools. So it has a spread and active community. It has capability and comprehensive product vision. Every month you have an update on Power BI, which introduces a new thing or modifies an existing function. So these are the key strengths on which they got this leading. So who can benefit? Everyone can benefit. If so far you have customers and you have data, everyone can benefit from Power BI. So it's just how we use it. It allows you, it's affordable compared to other tools. There's SAS to SaaS, but that one is more expensive in terms of implementation for small organizations. It gives you all form of capability for Power BI. So it gives you a secure, reliable connection to several data sources in the cloud or within your office premise. So it gives you several visualization, which is regularly updated with the community. So moving straight, Power BI components, you have the Power Pivot, the Power Query, and the Power View, which has the most outstanding feature. Power Pivot, you have all this in Excel. You know, we have Power Pivot in the Excel, which you use um, uh, to create insight or to create think meaningful information from the Excel. These are add-ons to some Excel versions, but I think for the newer versions, they are all embedded in it. So Power Query is the ability for you it gives you the ability to connect to various data sources, and Power BI is the one that gives you the report and dashboard creation capability. So there are other two elements or components of Microsoft Power BI, which is the Power Map for creating 3D geospatial data visualization tool, and the Power Question and Answer, which gives Power BI the ability for natural language questions and answering. So these two they are not usually used compared to these three functionality of Power BI. So moving straight to the seven pillars, this was gotten from one of the trainings that I attended. It has to do with seven pillars. The extract, which is the point where you get the necessary information from the data set performed on Power BI. Then the transform is when you clean your data, because not all data are usable in the state where they are. You have to make some amendment, remove every missing thing and every other thing that you need to amend there. Then you model your data, creating relationships between the tables, and things like that. Calculations is another step. These are written using code, programming language. You have the DAX language in Power BI for analysis. So we have the visual where you create your visuals, then finally to automation. So these are just seven pillars of, and let me not bore us with all this, but they are very important for us to understand them or know them, and if you want to dive in fully. So the key terms in Power BI, so we use it interchangeably when we are talking of the project. Data sets are your data, something which we import or connect to, which can be renamed, refreshed, it can be explored, and things like that. Then your report, it is one or multiple pages of visualization that can be created from scratch, imported to a dashboard, or created using data sets. Then dashboards, collection of several visuals in your screen. I will show us all this very shortly. The entire is a single visualization on a rectangular dashboard box. So we should understand all these terms that we use interchangeably. So this overview of Power BI desktop. Um, Power BI, there are various aspects of Power BI. There's Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service. There's like three other elements of Power BI that we need to know. But Power BI Desktop is what gives you the full capability of Power BI. This is where you build your report from scratch. It gives you opportunities to write codes, do everything you want to do on Power BI. Power Query, for example, now I talked about Power Query, Power View, and Power Pivot initially. Power Query here, this is what it looks like. The environment of Power Query. We'll get there during practice. Here you have the view. This is where you transform your data, clean it, do all the things you want to do. You have here applied steps. This shows all the things you do on your data. At every point in time, you can always delete. You go back to the initial state. So this is where what shows the table, the list of tables that you have on your Power BI desktop, and among several other menus that you have here. And from what I have here, one is the menu, two query pane, center pane, and query settings. I'm taking my time to go through all this, so we won't look at we are doing magic when we get to the real environment. So we have the Power BI, the modeling tab. We won't do modeling this because we are just using a single file. Modeling is a form where you create connections between data. Just imagine you have um, like 10 different Excel or 10 different data on your database. How do you make them interact? How do you make them link? Because the beauty of Power BI is the interactivity of various elements of your data. To be able to bring in all information to make the vital decisions without leaving out an aspect of your business data. So modeling is very important if you have a large data file. You can see here you have several tables. From what I can see here, you have like 4, 6, 7 tables. So I don't want to go and delve into the nitty-gritty of power modeling because this is another training on its own. So since you're about introduction here, let's just introduce the main thing. So this is the main environment where you build your visuals. As you can see here, you have the pages here highlighted in red. You have the data model tab, which takes you the environment that which I showed previously. You have the toolbar where you have all your tools. You have get data, then publish. Then finally, you have the data field and visual pane. So for pricing and features of Power BI, you see it here, what they can do and everything. Power BI desktop is free. Let me add that it's very free for anyone that is interested. There's the service online, then there is service pro. So the capability of some of these are all highlighted here. If you see in the under model size limit, you will see 1 gig for desktop, 100 gig for service. If you have a service subscription and you have a pro subscription, you have 400 gig. This 1 gig that you're looking at, before you get to this 1 gig, you will sweat because there's a query folding function in Power BI that ensures that even if you bring a data of 100 megabytes, there's a way it shrinks it into a very minute data that won't take your model size limit, that won't take a huge chunk. But if you have a large project, it's not advisable. You need to get something, maybe a service. Maybe you need to always have a pro service. So all these and say you can get more information from Power BI, Microsoft site on pricing and on what you get from each of the subscriptions. But for us, we're restricting onto Power BI. So this is where we want to go today. Demonstration. So we have a UK bank customer data. I got this data from Kaggle. Kaggle is a platform where data analysts, data scientists meet to do the on the go competition. You have data, you can build a repository there where you have your project stated there. People can comment, make an update, add to whatever you've done. So there's a load of data there. So we'll load our data, we'll prepare the data, we'll build dashboards to get this is a descriptive project. It's not just to explore our data. So we expect that you reproduce what we'll be doing here today, which we'll be building to be submitted to an email. Okay, it will be sent to a chat box that you are in under the women community. So after you build the data, we'll start with this template. I'm taking time to build this template. I built it on 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 PowerPoint. You know, before you start a data project or a visualization project, it's good to list out everything that you want to describe. So which was exactly what I did. I listed out all I want to show in my dashboard. Then based on that understanding, I look for proper icons that will describe it, and based on the information I describe, it should appeal to this comparison. Just using mixture of colors, painting to build a background. So eventually, this is what we'll be building today from this. So we'll build this from that. So we expect that we'll finish this, and when you're done, I'll expect us to share. Just share in the platform first. When we okay it, you can share your LinkedIn profile. You know, target the women community and tag me if you can. Also to show that what you've learned is a way of challenging yourself, of knowing that you're already on, and also letting people know what you've been up to in terms of learning. So without wasting much of our time, are we okay? Can we go on to build our dashboards now? Hello.
Yes, we are with you.
Okay.
Yes, we are with you.
All right. Let me open. I'm gonna open my Power BI. Sorry. Uh,
So we should go ahead to open our Power BI also.
yes, you can. You can, please. So as I explained, this was where I built it. Mm, Putting different elements together. Just do some coloring features and everything. So when you finish, you just export as PNG. So my Power BI is loading. Wow. So it's still loading. Okay. Let me build it from fresh. So before we get here, let's go to our home page. Are we up on Power BI now? Okay, this is what you see first. When you get to your Power BI environment, this is what you see first.
Sorry, sir. Sorry,
Yes,
what I'm
Kelly.
seeing on mine is get started page.
Get started page. Have you opened it before?
Yes, sir. No, this is the first time.
Yeah, just exit all those get started till you get there.
Oh,
Till you get to this environment.
okay. Okay, I can see it now.
Okay. This is where you can get your data from everywhere here. You see, you can get your data, Excel, workbook, and everything. I believe you have Excel saved on your desktop already.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So straight ahead, let's go there. You can pick your data from get data. When you click on it, it gives you option, it opens a box. Where you have over 100 sources of that you can get data from, different data that you can connect to Power BI. But our file, let me look at the type of file I have. It's a CSV file. This is a CSV file that we have here. So before we even go through that, a good practice is to open your Excel and see what you really have in your data. So this idea of looking at your data is to give you um holistic view of what you have. Yeah, I know I have customer ID, I have name, surname, gender, age range. I created this age range from the raw data. Ordinarily, most times you'll be required to create it, but I don't want us to go through that. You have the region, the job classification, the date join, and the account balance because the bank, which is very important to the bank. So we want to know which of these characteristics of this customer, you know, which customers are holding so much funds with them, when did they join the bank, and things like that. What type of job they do? Is it white collar, blue collar, or others? There's where is their region, Scotland, England, and everything. So let's go back to our Power BI environment. So since you already know it's a CSV file that we have, just click on it to connect. You now point to where your data is because I already pointed to it when I was building that dashboard. So we went there straight. So you click on the training data set, which is what we're doing, then you open. After I finish, it loads. It won't take you directly to your environment. It will first take you to this view. So you have your load transform data. The usual practice is don't load your data directly. Click on transform data. This gives you the option to clean what is not acceptable or what you don't need from your data. So clicking on it will take you to this page.
Sorry, Aditola, sorry to take you back.
Mm.
Please, that's your from get data. Is it from Excel you got the data from or from the CSV file?
It's form of it's an Excel file, it's the same Excel file, but the format of that Excel file is CSV.
Okay.
And it's a form of Excel.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I hope we're all here. So when you get to this point, the CSV area, you will see that you have some aspect. This is actually what we need. The headings here. You can see some element. That's why I said sometimes you need to clean your data. Look at this now, for example. You find out that you have ABD. I don't know what that is doing there, and there's an empty space in below it as well. But what do you need to do? You need to clean them. You need to take them out. You may say, okay, we can do it on Excel, but usually it's not the best practice. It's better you clean them from here. So what do I do? I can under home, you will see reduce rows, which is where you are doing any function of either you keep a row or you remove them. So you click on remove rows. Where are the rows you want to remove? Top rows. Remove the top rows. It takes how many rows from the top do you want to remove? It's two, the empty and the one with the figures that are not okay. So you put two. So now I've taken it out. If you see the apply step there, you see remove top rows. It's showing there. So this shows you the steps. If I take it out again, it will return those rows back there. So this is what Power BI is about. You see all the steps. You just like you're doing something on Microsoft Word or any other application. So if you notice, the header is here. You have column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. That's not what we want to show. We have a proper header here. Customer ID, name, and among every other thing. So what do we do to ensure that these rows are what we use? So on your home tab as well, you will see use first row as headers. Our first row is where we have the name of it. So when you click on it, use first row as headers, you'll see it promotes that header. So you see customer ID here, name, surname, and everything. It promotes the header. You see immediately a new step was added, change type. That means it's change the data type. So your practice is to look at your data type. Oh, running low. All right. The practice look at your data type from customer ID, name, surname, gender, age, and age range, and the region. You look at every other aspect of your data. So this is what we have here. So for your data, then it's important to look at your data type. You have the name, which is a text format, surname, gender. You have age, which is numerical. Age range is text, region, and every other thing. So when you confirm everything is okay, see this name and surname. I don't want it to be separate. I want it together. What do I do? In Excel, you concatenate and what's that English again? That means you bring two columns together. But here, there's what we use. Power BI has two programming language, the mQuery and the DAX. mQuery is yours to use in the Power Query environment for data transformation and to add tables and every other thing. And DAX too is for calculation, complex, if you have complex designs to do. But yeah, maybe we can leave this as this. Let's leave this, or maybe we should transform. Um, let's transform. Let's transform them, or let's leave it like this. So we won't complicate things. Immediately you're done with this, you click on close and apply. So wait for your data to load. So it's loading. Oops.
Hello, Adetola, please, are you still there? Hello, Adetola. Are you still there?
He's there. I think he's there. He's waiting for the this thing to load.
Okay, for the data to load.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Please, before he joins back, just for the main minutes, I hope we've been able to follow what he has been doing. And if you don't have a PC, just make sure you just listen and watch the way he's doing it. We've been able to get our data and trying to transform the data and trying to transform this data also. I hope we are following with what he has explained so far.
It's like it's off. Oh, his screen is no more showing.
It seems no longer on. Let me bring it back. Sorry for the delay, please. Let me bring it back. I'm sorry everyone for the late delay. I guess he's having network issues from his end, so he's trying to connect back with another laptop. Please, he's trying to connect back with another using another connection. Please just give him a few minutes to join us back. He's having a little connection issue, I guess because of the weather. So let's give him a few minutes. He will join us back. He wants to connect with another, using another connection to join us. Thank you.
Hello, Esther. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Please, I just want to ask that I was following in, but my Power BI was taking a lot of time to open.
To open.
Yes, I want to ask, at what point do we need the internet? Like, I mean, internet. Can you do this without internet once you have the Power BI installed on your laptop, or you need internet to?
You don't need an internet to build a Power BI dashboard.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, Aditola, it seems you are in already. Hello, Aditola.
Hello.
Okay, are you? Your voice seems to be breaking, please. We can't hear you, Aditola. Hello, hi, still there? We can't hear you. This networking. Sorry, everyone, for
How about
the
now?
delay. Okay, we can. Hear. I don't know about others. Please, if you can hear him, kindly respond.
We can hear him. Although it's still.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
We can hear him.
Okay. Let me go straight to my system. Okay, sorry. Have we all done the process of getting to this point, or bringing our data in? Hello.
Yes, I don't know of others, but for me, I'm fine.
Or are we listening with our phone?
And not everyone are using their system presently. Some don't have a system to use, but just for them to need. So we have just few members who are following up with what you're doing.
Just repeat
All right.
it briefly. Just repeat it again. Just brush.
Okay. You know what? Let me close it and start again.
Okay. Thank you.
At least up to the point where I pointed to the data, we all understand.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let me quickly just get to the data. Yes. So we transform our data here. So from what I explained earlier, initially what you did is change the type of data at the top here. So what we need to do is we reduce rows. Um, so by using on your home tab on the Power Query environment, you see all these menus, reduce rows. So you remove the rows, remove top rows. So how many rows from the top are you removing? Which is 2. So when you click on OK, so it removes it, then it leaves the option of the first line, which is where we actually want the customer ID name, surname, gender, and everything. So we need to promote this particular. Promote means let it be our header. So how do we do that? On the same main home tab, we put you see use first row as headers. So clicking on it, it changes the first row as header and immediately change the type of what type of information you have here. So looking at this now, you see the type that you have here. So I would have wanted us to join these two, but I don't want us to write any code today. What I did on the stuff, I joined these two together, just a simple code anyway. But we can just leave it as it is, first name and surname. So let's leave it as it is this way. But let's do it because it's the best idea. Let's join them together. So how do we join them? We do add column because we want to create another column that will combine them together. So we can use custom column to do it. So when you click on custom column, what do you call them? Let's call it full underscore name. Full underscore name. So how do we do that? What columns are we combining? You can see the list of all the available columns in your data here. So the first one is the name, which is the first name. So a simple syntax that we write. We put and sign. And sign. Now put a bit of space. Then you put the double column here, double quote here. So put spaces in between, so you can create space between the two columns. Again, you put and sign. What we are writing here is just a simple M language. The good thing about you see when you have your code has your issues, you see token literal expected show error. So what do? You add a surname to it, just double click it, it goes there. You see no syntax errors have been detected to tell you that he has done the right thing. What you've done is right. So when you click on OK, watch it. You can see he has created a new column with name, full name, with all this. He has combined with space in between, all the space we placed in. So it's showing text type. If you see this text type, it's showing as a text and a number. But what we have here is, as I said, you need to check your data type, very important. So by clicking it, you can change data type to let's change it to text. So you can see the 1, 2, 3 under it is gone. Since you already created a custom table, we don't need those two again. We don't need them again. We just because it's better you make your table as small as possible. So we don't need them again. So how do we get rid of them? The same place where we go to your home page, you have reduce rows, manage columns. How do you manage columns? On that, remove columns. You see, you can just click on it straight, remove the column. The second one too, you can just click on it straight, remove the column. You see. So enter, for example, now I know I showed you applied steps for the things we've done so far. We've promoted a header, we changed type, we've added custom table, we've changed type too. If you want to see what you did here, you can just click on it. It will show you the initial state at that point. Name some name. Change type. This was when we change the type to that one to text. So this remove column, you see, it will show you the steps you do there.
Mr. Banji, where is custom column? Where is it? I'm looking for it in the
Under add
taskbar. I
column.
can't see it.
Under add column.
Under where?
Home transform.
Okay, I've seen
add.
it. Okay.
So again, if maybe you made an error, you can always delete. You bring back the table, the column that you deleted. So we didn't make an error, it was something, it was what we intended. So go back to home, manage columns, remove columns. So remove the two columns. So you have your data here. But the best thing is I have my full name here. I would have preferred to have my full name at the other end. So you just select and drag. It's something you can easily do. I selected and dragged it to this other side. So it's still the same thing. Just keep dragging till you get there. Reorder it. So I've dragged and moved. So with this, your table is clean enough. Customer ID, full name, gender, age range, region, job classification. Better practice. Oh, I should have shown you this earlier. But you can always look at how your table looks like under view. Under view, you can check your column quality. You can see the value 100%, error 0. You can check across the line. You can check your column profile. You can check column profile. You can check the distribution. How many empty do you have? What's distinct here? So yeah, you can check it among other things here. So it just give you an overview. Even before we deleted that empty row, it would have shown you that there's an empty row there. So these are some of the ways, because your empty row can be in between your data. You need to take it out. So it's just to show you where empty rows and among other things. So this is just the bit I'll show us about Power Query, especially as it comes to the introduction. So going straight, we close and apply. Immediately you conclude with that. So what we close and apply do? If you have like 5, 10 tables and there's a relationship between those tables, this is where Power BI creates the relationship. due to uh, the, the thing that they have in common. It just creates on its own. But sometimes you need to specify it or they find a way of making them combine. So these are environments. I believe we are all, if we are not all here, we can catch up later. I think this has a recording, if I'm not mistaken. So I would expect that you complete this, no matter how, at least give yourself a target. Between now, if you can do it, complete today or tomorrow or Monday, just conclude it and share. Let it be something that you concluded. So, so you have this.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yes,
Hello, sir. Please,
I'm with
before
you.
you went off, you know we didn't combine the name and surname before you went off initially, and you were talking
Mm.
about close and apply. So I already closed and applied mine, so I couldn't do these things you now did earlier on. I don't know if I'm already at
Okay.
this page now.
Where you have
I
your
don't know.
okay, where you are, you see transform data. You see my cursor here. I
Yes,
see
sir.
my cursor. Just click on it.
I can see it.
When you click on it, it takes you back to the environment. Again, just click on it. It takes you back to the environment where you can now do all those things that I explained. If you want
Okay.
to leave it, you
Okay.
can. But I think it's advisable you have it. So sometimes you might have few names that are the same. You don't want to be adding two different tables as much two different columns. It's better you have one column. So
Okay, sir.
all right, no problem. So this our environment is usually when I will build dashboard, I will start off building all my things there. But to make things easy for us, or this is another practice anyway, you can create a background that will set the tone for what you're building. So as I explained, this is what we are going to build. Um, this is what we are building from this. This everything is already built. This is like a JPEG file that I constructed from Power BI from scratch. All these ones that I do, I just painted the because I know what I wanted to add here. I just put the elements here, painted it, made it faint and everything, just to give me a feel of what I want to produce. You can see everything on data bank is what you have under here, which is what we have as a heading. So let's get started immediately because I don't want us to waste so much time here. So going through this now, I already saved that picture somewhere here as training background. This is it. I have it here. Training background. So what I need to do is need to bring it in as a background for my dashboard. How do I do that? This under this you see under the visualization side, you see values and you see format. So under format, you see page background. You are not changing color. I can decide to change color. Hmm? To change color of my background to blue, and I can change it to blue. Transparency is at 100%. I can zero. You see, my background has changed. But I don't want to do that. I want to bring in the image because of what I've already done on the image. So under it, so you see add image. So you point to where your image is, training background, then you bring it in. Transparency is 100%, so you need to look at it and set it to zero. You see that it's filling the whole space, it's not particularly fitting. So image fits, you select, then you let it fit exactly. So it fits the environment, just the size of your canvas. I don't need this. I don't know why it's showing me. Okay, I don't need it. But by the time you select your first visual, you should leave. Let me take this now. Remove. So let's you see I know I showed just some pane. This visualization pane, this is field pane. This is where you have all your data loaded. If I bring it down now, you see all my data, account balance, page range, customer ID, full name, gender, just location, and region. So because we are mirroring what we're doing then, we don't need to do much work. We have a expo that we want to do. We have what we want to do. So let me just put it by the side. That will guide us. So there are different visuals that you can pick from here, different tiles that you can pick from here. These are called tiles or visuals that you can pick to view. But for you to achieve this, first and foremost, uh, let's start with the cards, the KPIs. If you see the elements here, they are the KPIs. Those are the important features we want to know. We want to know account balance, number of customers that we have, number of regions, and the average age. So those are KPI. That's what we call KPI, key performance indicators for the organization. This is what is important to us. We want to know average age of our customers, the number of regions that they come from, number of customers, and the account balance that we have as a bank. So let's just account balance. Under account balance, it's easy. This KPI card, you are using a card here. So what you do, you bring your card here. Hmm? Page background. We don't want a background for it. But because you have now added visuals, that's why you are seeing it like this. So let's add a visual under field. So you drag, you can drag, you drag it here. When you drag it there, the visual is already there. 159.26 account balance. Can you see? It's there already. But this is not how we want it to be. We don't want the background because we already have a background. So you go to format. Go to format. You disable background. You say everything. I'm not writing anything since I've just been clicking and clicking. So that's the beauty of all this. But you need to understand where all these things are. And it comes with constant usage and practice for you to understand. So I have background. To remove the background. So what color do I have there? I have white. So why do I see that? You see data label. Data label. What do I want on it? What color do I want? White. You see, what do you want it to display? It's displaying exactly as I want. Two decimal places. You can display the unit that I want. Is it in thousands? Is it in millions or billions? If I choose in thousands, it shows like this. If I choose in millions, it goes like this. So how many decimal places I can set to one decimal or one or two, depending on what I want. So text size, let's just change our font. What I usually use, I don't know, since Modi taught me this font about 2 years ago, I've been stuck with the font. So um, so we choose, I use semi-bold for my font. So if you notice something here, there's one account balance below it. I don't want that because I want to set my own title. This account balance you are seeing, it got it from the title of your column. But I don't want to use it. I want to use my own column. So Sergio Bold, I can bring it down a bit. What I'm trying to achieve is for it to fit in my box. So category title. This is where you have the category title, which is this account balance. I don't want it, so let me hide it so you see. So I'd rather have a title, which I state myself, title, which is account balance. You see, I have account balance as my title. I have to change it to white. You see, but let me drag my box in. I need to increase the size too. So everything you did there, I just align. All these are just design, but the main thing is the data you're trying to display. But you also want it to look appealing to the person using it, such that you'll be attracted to the person. Semi-bold. So I can use 13. I can increase it to 14 or 13 in case needed. So let's so you have it here. I will show you how to do some of these things. I may not be able to go through everything in total. But another thing I can do is maybe I'll do it and share the video. The mistake I made was I should have done this as I've done the video while I was doing it. But I hope you'll be able to get to some points today. I'll show you how to do some of these styles and how to do some of the functionalities. So let me go back to my data. It's still large. So I have it here. So I have it. So the good thing is I can copy and paste. You're going out. Okay, I've copied and pasted. So this part I need to add the pound sign. So how do I do it? Just check, just select account balance. Select it. It shows you this view automatically. I didn't need to do anything. You select, it shows you this. So where you have the currency, just do and look for pounds. You see, it has changed it. It has changed it. But remember, this is not pounds. We don't want pounds here. So what do we do? Based on what we are copying, total customers. How do we get that? We can get it from customer ID. You wonder how is it achievable by getting total customer ID. Let me drag it in to replace that particular visual. You see, it's showing in Naira. This is not what I want. What do I do? You do count. Count. So what I need to change some elements here to show that it's not what is. It's not exactly what I want. So we can do this under data label. It's not in million. It's auto. Let's make it automatic. Immediately I change it to automatic. You can see that it changed to normal number that I want. You can now go to the title. Total customers. Hmm? It has changed already. So I don't want to do all those issues. I don't want to go through that one again. So let me just go through all the troubles. Let me just copy this, which is what I want. So number of regions, which is the next thing. I selected the tab. So let me just drag my region there immediately. If you see, if you open it, you see showing, you pick the first region that you have on the table, or you can choose the last, depending on what you want to display. But now, what I want to show is count. If you choose count, it shows you 4,014. But from what you have there, you don't have 4,014 regions. Let's check our Excel again. Let's go to filter just to show something. If you notice, you only have 4 regions. The 4,014 that is showing is the number of occurrences that you have all the regions. So what do you do in this case? You choose count distinct. Automatically, it shows the number of regions that you have. So what you do next is change the title, number of regions. So the last one that we have from where we are displaying is the total customers. No, sorry. The average age. So like what we've been doing, we do that as well. Drag the age column. So what do? You change it to, instead of sum, you change to average. There's nothing like 38.61H. So the best practice is just round it up. Auto, you see. So under our title, you change to average age. So I think we are getting on with our data. Our dashboard. Our dashboard is taking shape now. So what do we do next? It's taking shape now. Let's quickly do our visuals. Let's just load our visuals there. So let's know that we are clear with our visuals. So let's start with gender distribution and age distribution. So gender distribution, what kind of chart are we using? We are using a donut chart. Same thing we did then. Remove background. But let's drag in our data first. Age distribution, gender distribution. So you see gender here. What do I want to know? I want to know what makes my customer. Okay. We can use, what's it called? Customer ID. Sorry. Let our legend be this. Customer ID will be value. Okay. So go to our menu. I hope I follow it bit by bit. I don't want a legend. Let me take it off. Detail label. Category and percentage of total. That's what I want. So do I want decimal place? No, I don't want. So what should be the color? I'm taking background off. So what will be my color? I think we can stick with that. But usually I like to use something that is a bit close. Okay, detail label, category, what color do we want? We want white. You see? I can increase. So our title, gender, what did we describe it as? Gender distribution. Gender distribution. I think I want us to end latest maximum 3 p.m. maximum as much as possible, because we know we all have some things to do. Then our font color should be white. We can align, reduce semi bold. So to do all the fizzy that you have there, I might not do it. Let's just on our border. Our border is, let's make it white. Then we can make it curve. the part I'm making curve is these edges of our square of our borders. So it won't be just plain flat. Let's just make it. So an important element of when you are creating your visual is proper labeling and proper title. So if you don't need to be there for they make sense out of your data. You should be able to use your dashboard without you being there. So you've created this now. Let's just put some effigy. Let's put shadow. Let's just put some shadow. Let's put it just white shadow, easy, bottom right, polar. We have it now. So we already did this. This is what we did. Exactly. So it won't take much. So let's copy, paste. This box were properly measured using the green line. So what do we do here? What data do we have displayed here? Age distribution. So this year we use the age range. So let me take them down. You see different colors. It's not ideal for you to have color fighting in your dashboard. It's best to make it as simple as possible. You so one of the best you see me using different shades of blue. That's usually what I enjoy doing. If you notice my age, our average age here, you see the color around it is pink. So I'll make sure at least let me match some of these things together. So it's just about just paying attention to the details of your design. So let's not just a pink, a lighter pink, just to display. So I have it there already. So I don't need to create something different. So it's just my color now that I now need to amend on the other thing. If you notice, I'm not doing new things. If you have similar table, similar chart, just copy and paste. Then just change some few formattings and you are good to go. Data colors. So what I do is I have four. I pick this one. I pick these two. Sometimes you can just use a theme. If you use a theme is a predefined, a custom-made theme that you built that can be used for your data. So you don't need to start doing all this. It won't show all these funny colors. It just shows all the colors that you assigned in your theme. So which is usually the correct practice. You see under view here, you see theme. I can choose a theme, but I'm not working with a theme. I'm building all mine on my own scratch. So let me go to details again because some of these data are not showing. I want it to show. Let me just reduce the size. So I have it showing now. So I have all my data labels properly showing. A 15 to 29 age bracket are 18% of my data. So let me just show you a proper functionality because the data are interconnected. If I click on age 30 to 39 and if I click on that bar, you see what will happen. If I click on it, notice the change here that I noticed. It changes the total account balance for people within age of 30 to 39 to 64. The total customers under this range is 1,598. Number of regions that they exist, there are still 4. Average age of that range is 35. If I want to uncheck it, it goes back to the default, which is for the total population that you have in the bank. So these are the capabilities of Power BI to interact with all your data at the same point. As you click on it, it gives you the functions. I can choose that when I click certain things here, it won't have this will not have an effect on any of it. I can also set all those settings. So you can as well do that. So we are done with this gender. Let's change the title to age distribution. You need to select it first before you're able to access the function title. I'm making it so as much easy for us as possible. So we've taken out that element. So we have like four visuals to go. Let's see what we can quickly do for that. So here I'm displaying top 10 customer balance. Top 10 customer balance. How do I achieve that? Um, so I'm using a bar chart, a cluster column chart. That's what I'm using. So I'll select, if, for example, why do I want to know top customer balance? When you are creating your video, it's not just to create the visual, it's to understand the reason behind it. I want to know who are the customers that are giving us more deposits in the bank, who are the customers that are buying my products. So let me see the top 10. So maybe these are the ones I will call the most when I'm making calls or when I want to share gift or December hamper. Maybe they are the ones that I need to give. So let me take their full name. Eh? So what do I want to know about them? Account balance, which is the values. Hola, you have them. But it's showing for everyone. It's too jam-packed. I need to know top 10. So how do I do that? By creating filters. How do I create filters? It's very easy. It's easy. Everything is click, click, click. Filter on visual. This visual. Full name. So when you want to create filter there, you add data field that you want to create filter on. Account balance. I want to create an account balance. So what do I want to do? Top N. Top N. Show item top. I can show top. I can show bottom 10. Top 10. So what I want to show is top 10. So just do top 10. By what do you want to show? You can still drag in your account balance here. Then you apply your filter. You apply your filter. You see, it has reduced it to 10. Just 10 columns. So let me hide this now. I think we're done with that. That's the easiest form. You can write code to achieve this, but this is the easiest way to do it. So what do I need? I need to show the data label on it. Let me first take away the background so it makes my data easy. So data label, let me change the color to white immediately so I can see what I'm doing. Hello, I know I'm a bit fast, but I think that's the best I can do because of our time. But I want us to
There's
reproduce
only
this.
the session is being recorded, so they
Uh,
can even watch after the. All right.
okay, the y-axis. Let's go there. I don't want to show my y-axis because that's where it was showing the data. I already have the data on top of my bar, so there's no point of showing it again. And so I need to switch up the title there. I don't want any title to be showing. At least it gives my visual more space to spread their legs. So let me close it. Then let me put it off. My x-axis, I need to show which name we have there. White. I have my name there. So Dorothy, I have Dorothy, Jackson. I have the account balance and everything. Every year, every information you need about them. I will show us another thing. Title. Okay. This title is funny, but you need to change it. Top top 10 customer balance. Every of my title, I use semi-bold for them. I have to be consistent. Before I drew this thing on PowerPoint, I drew it on paper first. What I want this design to look like. I already drew it on paper to understand what I want to build. So this is top 10 customer balance built already. So what's talking about customers there? Because it's about the customer really, not even about the balance. It's about the customer here. So customer has the orange sign here, orange color here. So how do I reflect this in my data, in my visual? I can put my border on. Let me just use white so it can reflect properly. Then shadow on. This shadow is just a fizzy, nothing. It's not like the main thing, but it's just good to have. So I have it there already, the orange. So I think with this data, I think we're done. But I did something here. It's not just having it. I created to know the average deposit of these guys. I can introduce a trend line or an average line. How do I do that? Still go to your in the third part, you see analytics. There's field where you add your data, format where you change background, change color and everything. And there's the third part, analytics. Let me add I can add a minimum line, maximum line, but I need to add an average line. So what is the line? What is it measuring? Is the account balance that I want to measure. So I can rename it average account balance. That's the name because the name I want it to show. So what color do I want it to display? Let us still use our orange. Sorry. Okay, so let's put it below under. So display of units, let's make it in million. So the average deposit for all these guys out of the top 10 is 16. It's 16 it's 160,000. That's the average deposit for all these guys, the top 10 guys. So sometimes we want to use the maximum and the minimum depending on what we want to use. So this is what we have here. But I want to introduce us to something. For example, if I want to put on the name, I want to know the type of job the person does and the maybe the region is from and the gender. So you will see here, if I select it under this, I can see two tips, two tips. So two tip is what is showing when I put on my cursor on it. You can see it's only full name and account balance that is showing. So I want to know the job classification. I want to know the gender and I want to know the region when I put on it. So if you notice, if I put my cursor on it, it shows me the job at a glance, classification, the gender, female, region that it comes from, England. Same for every other customers on this line. So these are just some of the simple things that we can use to enhance our data, this thing, visuals. So let me copy and paste. So now I don't want any filter. Hmm? I don't want any filter here. Let me just remove it. I'm removing the filter. I don't want any filter, and I don't want any average line because I'm building another visual, of course. So every other information here, I still want the way it's displayed. I still want to show it. So if you notice my sign here, I have map like globe here. So that shows me that what I want to have there is the top, the customer by the total balance by region. So I don't need to think about it because I already give a marker here to guide me on what I want to do. So by region. So what I need to do is just go to my data point. Instead of full name, I'll change it to region. So take full name away I have my region. Wow. So what did I title it? Account balance by region. So let me just change my title. So that's it. I don't need to do any extra work because I'd already done the work in the previous so I can reduce my data label just to ensure that the title fits properly. No, I'm not reducing this. What I'm reducing is the what's it called? The title. So I have it here. My region has blue color here. So simple thing to do. Just go to your shadow, change it to the light blue so it displays. I'm copying and pasting that. Pasting again here. So what do I have? It's already coming, it's already getting the shape that I want. I can balance by job class. Account balance is the main factor here. You see, that's what's common to everything by job class. So job class, because I don't have it here, that's why I'm using white. For anyone that don't have it on the KPIs, I use white for it. So I'm moving faster now. White on it. So let's change the title and we are done with that. By what? By job class. Let's reduce the size. And we are good with that. So the last visuals we're building here, which is it shows the trend. I want to know as how what are the balances of customers that they joined. For customers that joined in 2015, you can see their balances. Their total balance of customers that joined in 2015 is 26 million. Then down to customers that joined in 2020 are 27 million. So you can see it's 2016 customers that I signed on in 2016 that have the highest balance with bank as at today, which is 28.4 million. So some of this trend is what you want to show to know how the efforts, maybe it's the current customers that are giving you a balance. So to know if balances are low there, maybe you need to revisit them and know how you can pursue them. So our line chart is what we're using here. I would ask, okay, let me try and see if this will still give us the same experience. Because we don't have a line chart before. Okay. So year joins. So what color can we use? Let's just use maybe green. Let's just use green. Let's just take that one away. Let's move on with that. More colors. We don't have green. So I've changed that to green. So since we are changing to line charts, let's go to our data first. Let's go to year join, which is the dates join. So I want to use a trend bar. You can see it changed immediately. which is a good thing for us. Which is a good thing for us. We don't have to go through the rigors of our trying to balance change fund again. So we are allowing show here. Immediately show the hierarchy. I don't want to show dates. I don't want to show quarter. I'm taking it out. So I just want to show the year and month. So each time you point, for every data, I told you about two tips. When we click on this, you see that the two tip we set on the other one is showing here. But really, why do I want to show white collar twice? Because this is the function that we're doing, job class. So let me click this. I'm going back to account balance by job class. Two tip. Maybe I want to show dates joined. If I click on it, it will show me when the customer joined, gender, and everything, earlier date join and everything. So let's go to this. Same thing. Because it's region already, I don't need region. Maybe I want to know job class is not useful for me here. It's not useful for me here because it's a country. So I don't want to know job class of a country. And gender is also not useful. So what's the best thing to have here? Just to know the balance already showing. Age range, I don't need to show that. Maybe I can show age range. I can now show average age range. Okay, let me show age. There's a reason why I'm selecting this. So sometimes they may say when they click on they want to see this. That's depending on what they want. Let me put balances there. You notice you see why I'm doing balance now. I can now do average balance. I can do average age. So such that when I click on England, I can see the region England account balance. Average balance is 39,000 there. Average age is 34. I can also want to know number of customers in England. We can also achieve with this. But because I can achieve with other menus, but I don't want to do that. So this is it. So I think we fully displayed. Apart from this, let's change our date here. Our title here, which is total balance by account opening here. It's past 3 already. This training that we're doing now is what some people will charge 300,000 for or 200,000. Some people 80, 100 depending. Balance by account opening here. Okay. All right. So we have this like this. So if sometimes temptation I want to get that you want to pull as much visual as possible, but no, don't do that. I just as much as possible I squeeze it into one page visual. I can have like 5 pages, 10 pages, and I have something linking them together, but we are not doing that because we're just on the introduction stage. This is even more than an introduction, but at least it gives you a holistic view of what Power BI can do. So let's create our title. Let's create our title. Your dashboard must have a title. It must. So I've chosen Eon Data UK Bank as a title. What title I even choose again? I forgot it. Eon Data UK Bank Executive Dashboard. You ask me where I got the design idea. You can go on Google, check for idea of dashboards, coloring and design. You can check. Just be looking under Google image. When you look like that, it gives you inspiration of what to design. Really, that's what I do. when I need inspiration to get what to design or the how to use my color theme depending on what I want to achieve. So I'm doing this now. So under this, I don't want a background. I want a border. I want a shadow. What should my border be? Let me change this to 5. I don't want it to just be a perfect square. Border color white. So my shadow, the way I did that, I made it white as well. Instead of outside, I make it inside and I put center. So 16. So we have a cover title now. Let me move the book. So we have a title now for our dashboard. So the last part of our dashboard I want to do now is let's create these filters. To be able to choose year, choose job class, age range. So you see, you can do this in less than 5 minutes because of we'll create one, then copy and paste. That will take care of every other thing. So we're about rounding up now. So what do we do to create this? It's simple. Let's just go to this. Uh, Please don't make mistake. You can save. Me, I'm not saved yet. There's temptation that you might lose your data. But really, just go to file, save as you would to any other document. So what do we do? You choose slicer. That thing that you're seeing there is called slicer. Sometimes you may not sit and do this thing as a stretch. You know, like the way I did it, I did the template one day, the other day I did the others. I did and I built the visuals there. Okay, so let me drag my data. You see the date join that I have here. So it's showing date join. I don't want it to be a slider, like a slider like this, where you can select a date range. It's not needed for me. What I need is the year join. So what do I do instead of date join? Let me change to date hierarchy. So data hierarchy will show all the functions, all the things you have on your day and everything. So I want to just have year and month. So mainly I have here a year and month. You see, I have it here this way. So I can have this now. Slider header. Um, what do I have as that? Sorry, because I am copying something. Account opening here. White as usual. Semi bold. Let me change my background. So as much as possible, we'll try and do this Slider header. Let me check. Let me move the title on. I'm putting my title on. So my title is yeah. That's the year the account was open. So that's why you need to understand the business knowledge of what you're building to be able to put the right description to what you're doing. So I think we're done now. Border, shadow, same thing. All these are just phasing. May or may not be needed. 5, 6, 7, 8, or before. Shadow, let's put it inside. So let's center it. I think I use a bit of. So I think we already replicated what we have here. We replicated what we have here. So if you can see my alignment, I'm trying to align it the start with the start of this total account balance. So I've aligned it that way. So if I choose 2015, for example, you see it brings out all information about 2015 here. Because now that I joined 2015, 630, 630 and everything. So it just shows you information, which is the same thing as the 27. So but most times you don't want it to affect this date. You just want to you want to see all this at a glance. You don't want it to affect it. So most times I'll show you something now. So that if I click this, it will not affect this. Because I want this to be like this. Even when I'm clicking, it should not affect this because I want to see the trend as I'm going. It's an executive dashboard. If I now want to see the year, see the balance, I can click on it and see it at the top. Not that I don't want it to affect something here. So those are just visual design and controls that you can apply to your design. So I will just copy and paste to align the next thing we're doing. So job class. Let's do job classification. So we just change the field there. So you see, job class is showing there already. Title. So items there. Let me reduce the size so it can fit in properly. Sorry. Okay. So the next thing is just Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let me not select this. Let me use this, which is smaller. Okay. All right. Let's think we're almost done. Um, the next one is region and age range. So let's just look at it. Region. All I need to is just change the title here. I'm not doing anything. Region. We'll still adjust this because we want it to fit just the age range. But we're aligned now. We've designed virtually everything we want to design. So the only thing that is missing now is the reset button. The reset button. Sometimes you may mistakenly have clicked different filters. You may have clicked 3039. You clicked age 3039. You now click people that has blue collar job under age 3039. And what's their top 10 balance? What's the average? What's the number of customers under this average age there? It has changed everything about your visuals. So sometimes instead of you clicking here and just on clicking one after the other again, you can just create a single button to restore the initial states that you have. I don't know if I should introduce this. Maybe we should let it be that way because um, I don't know. What do you think? Do you want us to put it there? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Please put it.
Okay.
You don't get stuff written along.
Eh? Okay. What does it look like? Okay, let me look at it. Okay, just a small spread. Let's just look under insert on the menu. You see shapes. Let's choose this rounded rectangle. Rounded rectangle is already here. Okay. Reset. Let's show text on it. Reset button. That's all. Fill. What color? Let's go to our beautiful green. Let's use a darker green. Transparency. Let's make it a bit transparent. Our text again. Let's make it bold enough so we can see it. Mm-hmm. Oh my name. I like painting things white. Then let's make it glow a bit. Make it glow. This is white so it can glow. So these are our glow cells in affecting it. So that's just about it. Let's leave it that way. Let's leave it that way. I'll put a bit of shadow. Okay. So it won't function like this. You need to do some things. This is the original state that we have. This is the original state that we have for the dashboard. Nothing is clicked, nothing is selected. So how can we now make this original state? We can do view bookmarks. Bookmark just like you do on your internet when you create a page. So let's add a bookmark. Bookmark will keep this current state of this page. Let's call it default. under view, go to bookmark. You always make sure you don't select anything when you get to that page. So it should be in the original state. Choose bookmark and put it as default. You created your bookmark, your bookmark already. So go click on the reset button. Just click on the what you drew. Scroll down under action. Check it on action. What do I want it to do? I want it to go to bookmark. So which bookmark? Default that we named that one. Remember, we named the default ourselves, not like the system named the default. So tooltip, when you put on it, what do you want it to show? When they put any cursor on this, you can put please select to go to default. So we've done magic now. If you put your cursor over it, you see. Please select to go to default screen. So let me just do one thing now. I selected 2017. I selected England. I selected visuals. For this state, because you've not read publish it, I can do reset. How do I click reset? Control, I think it's Control Alt or something. When you click on it, it takes you back to the original state. Nothing is selected. So each time you select all those things and you click on it, Control plus the reset button. But when you publish, when you click on it directly, you don't need to press any control. It takes you back to the original state. These are some of the design. It might be the little things, but these are what functionality that helps build your design. Then I think we are done. Finally, I mentioned something that these visuals that we have here, I don't want anything to affect it. For example, account opening here, I don't want it to affect this if I select any here. I just want to be seeing my thing. Region, if I click on region, I don't want it to affect this region's part. I need to be able to see everything holistically. Same as job class. When I click on job class and choose anyone, I don't want it to affect this. It will only affect things here and maybe the top customer balance, top 10 customer balance. When I click on age range, it should not affect this. You get my point? So how do we achieve that? It's called interaction. Sorry. Under home, or what is it again? Under is it modeling? Okay, let's select one first. This year, you need to select it first. When you select it, you see data drill. You see format. Under format, you see it wasn't selected before. If I uncheck now, you won't see it. But if I select the filters, you will see it. So under format, edit interactions. Immediately it shows all the visuals that this thing is affecting if I click on it. So which one do I don't want it to affect? I don't want it to affect this. So I just block it. So if I click on it, no matter how I click on it, it will not affect. It will not affect the chart. But the good thing, if I click on blue color, it will affect it because I allow it to interact with it. So I'm now clicking on blue color. I don't want it to affect this. I'm closing it off. So if I choose here, it will still affect the blue color. It will affect the account balance by job class. But if I click any job class here, it won't affect it. So you see, this is how you do. I want this to be there or constantly. So let's do region 2. I don't want it to affect. So you test it. England is not affecting. You see. Then age range. I don't want it to affect age distribution. So I block it off. So now I've completed my design. So now I can click on mail, for example. I click on mail. You can notice it changed all this. The total, all the mail have 159.6. No, it didn't click. Sorry. Okay, they have 86 million out of it, 160 million. They are 2,165. Region for average age of male is 40. It changes everything. If you see, the 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 bold part here shows the balance that male have under England. It shows that they have for 34 under Scotland, white collar 38. Then top 10 here that I said here, not only 7 are male, which is the second. You see, if you notice the other one that is not highlighted, which is the female, that's why it's not highlighted. So you see, so let me go back to my original state. So I think with this, we've come to the end of our dashboard. So which is similar to what we have here. You can see we built similar thing now. So I want us to, as much as possible, reproduce this and show our dashboard and share it as much as possible. So take away from this class, and it's easy to get excited with your data. It's easy to build your visualization, but you have to ensure that you answer business questions. For here, I can show you total account balance. Now, I told you initially what we're trying to achieve here is total balance, average balance, number of customers, number of locations. So which we're able to display. This they can make decision on the go. The good thing is that Excel that I used and uploaded now. Now, temptation is catching me to do another thing. Okay. You notice we have 4 regions. Let me just do something again. The same place where you have your data. Control C, Control V. I'm adding another line of data. Note our existing number of customer 4014. Number of regions 5. So Esther, everything is a female. This is a new. I just added a new row there. Age range is Sweet 16. Age range 15 to 29. It's Northern Ireland. Let's call it Ijebu. Red color. Region 2020. Do we have 2021 there before? No. So 2021. Balance 7,000. Customer ID. Let's change this. Let's give it something different. 479. You notice I've added another column. That means I don't need to go through all the things I've done before again. I just need to save. When I save, you see, I've added. So what I need to do is just go to my dashboard. What do you have? You have a refresh button here. When I refresh, you'll notice something. Four 015, you see. He has changed my regions to 5, average rate to 9. He has added Ijebu to my visual. He has added Ijebu to it. Ijebu is added to region here. 2021. If I spread it again, 2021 will be somewhere in here. If I open my data, you see 2021 there.
Sorry, Adetola, does it mean because you added new information on the Excel? So it doesn't mean
and I refresh.
And refresh. So it doesn't mean we have to go and transform data over again from the
You don't need to transform. So far, you have your dashboard built already. You don't need to do all those issues all over again. So it changes automatically because it knows where. If don't see your location of your data that you are pointing to is speaking from the source. If you had a pro license, you can set automation so that it refreshes every morning, every evening. You can set all those things. So I've refreshed now. It has changed my regions to 5, change the number of customers. So that's the good thing about this. That's how you have to pay attention when you're designing at first. But if I remove any column from here, or change anything and I refresh, there will be an error because the states that I have in transform my data is the same as this. If I had another column, I need to go to Power Query and amend everything again. So that's it about it. But let me clean it because it's not the data we need. Let me save again and refresh so we can go back to our original state.
So it means we have to save it on the Excel before we can come back to refresh on Power BI.
Now you have to do it again. Our original is changed to 5. I need to amend it. Okay. Let me go to transform. Ordinarily, it shouldn't show this. All your region should be view, column profile. Let me check column distribution. Let's go back. So come back to the original state. What I just did, I just deleted instead of deleting that row entirely. So it's come back to the original state, number of regions for everything back to where it should be. So so I think this is more than introduction to Power BI really. This is like the masterclass on Power BI.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
hard but essential to involve businesses. Yes. So thank you very much for your time and for the e-pops occasionally. Then if you have any question, I think we should take that in 1 or 2 minutes. Then we can close the class as the case may be. So am I okay to bring down my slide?
Okay, Adetola, thank you. Is there anyone who has any question concerning this class? If there's something you need to just verify or you need to understand better.
The last one he just did, that he added some other data before other things.
Just add,
He said it will not work like that. So if you want to do another one, so you have to do a new one entirely.
no, it
If
will
those
work
ones are
now.
not fixed, it will work.
Yes, now if you add another row, it will work automatically.
Okay. Okay. That's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
should. Yeah, thank you very much.
Have any other questions, please? Does anyone have any other questions?
I have a
Before
question, please. Yeah, so from the beginning, when I got my data on the Power BI, I noticed that it showed on the right hand side as column A2, column 123, and I didn't know how to change the heading, so I just got lost and listened. So how do I manage that?
Okay. On the menu, there's a function there under you see reduce row. Is it reduce row or something that way? Um, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Let me share.
okay,
You
thank
see
you,
under
Adetola.
home,
Who
you see
else has
reduce row.
questions?
That's it.
Okay.
So when you choose reduce rows, you put remove rows. You just set the number of rows. That's two that I want to remove. But you can refer to the recordings to get a better view of this. At least you have it from the start.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go from there.
I have
Thank
a
you.
question.
Okay.
I have a question, please.
Can I ask a question too?
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Can you please go over how you did you're talking about the interactive part where you want to block some places from changing when you click. Can you go over that side again, please?
Where
I didn't get. Hello.
let me try and share again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You click on the filter. Click on any filter. Then you go to you see this format and data drill coming up. Then you go to format. Click on edit interactions. Edit interactions. So immediately you click on edit interactions, it displays all the interactions that you have. Because I already did my interaction. When I click on this, you see this is blocked for this particular visual. I can unblock it if I want to by clicking on this. So it should be active. See, I blocked it.
Okay.
So that's how you set based on what you don't want to affect anymore. So I think right now let's call it a day. You can go to the video and the recordings. I think Esther will share where we can get it from. So
Yes, it's fine. Thank you so
thank you
much,
very much.
Admiral Raphael. It's a pleasure having you among us here. So for the Watch Brief Women, we've been able to learn how to build a Power BI dashboard for today's class. So we'll be requested to build one. If you're able to build so if you're able to build a Power BI dashboard successfully, you get a certificate of participation for today's training. You get a certificate of participation for today's training. So I'm going to share the email at which we will send our Power BI dashboard to on the platform. So I'll be sharing the video to everyone who attended today's training. So we'll be able to work with it and build a Power BI dashboard. So once you're able to build, you get a certificate of participation. That's for attending today's Power BI training class. And I'm sure today's class hasn't been a waste. We'll be able to learn something new. For those who have an idea of what Power BI is, you are learning even better. Even I myself, I learned other things today on how to change the settings from the Power BI dashboard, how to reset and how to change, even add new data sets, and you can work with it also. So we encourage everybody to practice because they say practice makes perfection. So you want to do it and make sure you know what you have learned for today. It's not just about learning the training and forgetting about it, but for us to be able to learn and put it into practice. Not just seeing it, but you're able to do it by yourself and you're proud of you. I learned something like this and I was able to do mine also. That's the best thing about attending training. So I want to encourage us. I'll share the video to us so that we can start as soon as possible and be able to build the dashboard. This Power BI training will learn it. So many people it takes them months to learn it. We've completed the class in less than 3 hours. We've built a dashboard already. Even before they can build a dashboard, you start taking them to the scratch. Some people spend weeks, months in building Power BI dashboard, and it's at an expensive money. So we are getting this for free because with those people, so many people spend, as you have said, some people spend as much as 200,000, 100,000 to learn Power BI, which is true. Which is true. So we are getting this for free, even at less than 3 hours, we are done already building the dashboard. So I want to encourage us to practice it. That's the most important thing. We should not take the training for granted and see because we learn and it should just end there. You don't know where you might actually meet yourself and where you might need it because you're just preparing yourself for the future, as we have said. So it's very important. So I encourage us to do a practice on today's training and we should share the dashboard of what we have built.
Hello, Esther. Hello. Hello.
And you get the certificates. So you get the certificate of participation. So I want to appreciate everybody for making out time to attend today's training. Fine, I know it has not been easy since 1 p.m. Some of us have one or two things to do, but we don't take your presence for granted. So we want to appreciate everyone who took part in today's training. On behalf of the Wood Beef team, we say thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making it to attend today's training. So,
Hello, Esther.
and yeah, I see you raising
Can I?
up your hand.
Yes, please. I went through the training for Mr. Adetola. Now, when the slides are shared and there's questions to ask, is it possible I ask for clarity just to be sure I'm doing the right thing? I don't know if
For
you
what?
got me. I know the slide will be shared, the recordings will be shared, but in places whereby there's some clarity I will need, maybe interactive, I
Send
can
me, yes, just
make
a
sense.
message,
All right,
yes, send me a
makes sense.
message, yes. If you have issues in maybe trying to connect one thing or the other, just send me a message. You can send me a message on Telegram or WhatsApp. For
Makes
those
sense.
who have a hand, so you can send me a message, then I'll respond to it. It's fine. Can take it
Perfect.
over
Thanks.
from. But I know you have one or two questions to ask while preparing or while working on your own dashboard or building a dashboard on your own also from the recorded
Very true.
version. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Who was raising up? And Chioma, do you want to say something?
Yes, please. For me, I didn't join with my email address. I couldn't sign into my Teams app. So I'm wondering how you will send the video to me. Do we need to submit our email addresses?
The issue now is I don't know if you registered for the training online. Did you register with the link that
I
was
did.
shared?
Okay, yes, I registered. I registered.
Okay, via email. For those who registered, the video will be shared to those who registered who registered
Okay.
for the training. That's what we do. Yes, that's what we do. All right. Does anyone have any question, or do you have any other thing to say? If there's anyone who has anything to say. Before we close out, does anyone have anything to say or any other question to say? All right, in the absence of none, so call it a day. So on behalf of Vote Team again, we say thank you very much for coming and thank you for creating time to join today's training. So next month we are open for another training and we'd love to see everyone again join another training next month. We'll give you an information concerning the training that will be coming up next month. And if there's anyone who has any training or feels that you have something or a skill that you think you can teach other women on the platform, you are free to speak with me and we'll organize something for women also on the platform. So on this note, I want to say thank you once again for making out time. We do really appreciate you. So on behalf of Wicketing, thank you and have a great weekend. See you next month also for another training. So we can now leave. Thank you.